Hey everybody. So we are going to start working with something called box and whisker plots. Do you see the box? Do you see the whiskers?
Oh my gosh.
So cute. Yes. But before we start working with those box and whisker plots or those box plots, we have to go through a lot of vocabulary. So get your pens, your pencils ready. Let's write this down, okay? So we need to make sure we know the vocabulary, and then when Miss Benson comes up and starts working through problems, you're going to understand exactly what she's doing, all right? So a box and whisker plot is also known as a box plot. These graphs show data broken into 4 quartiles and each with an equal number of data points. I promise it might sound confusing now, but it's going to make sense in just a little bit. So, quartile is our first vocabulary word, 1/4 of a set of data. Then we have quartile 1, which is abbreviated Q1, is the median of the lower half of the data, okay? Then we're going to be talking about quartile 2. Q2 is the median of the entire set of data. And if you remember, we learned how to find median just a little bit ago. Now we've got quartile 3. Q3 is the median of the upper half of the data. I know, it's crazy, but it's got to get better, okay? I promise. So we've got a little bit more vocabulary, and we're going to start here. We've got 3 letters, IQR. IQR stands for the interquartile range, which is the difference between Q3 and Q1. All right. Then we've got something called a lower extreme, which is the minimum or the smallest value in a set of data. Then we have an upper extreme, which is the maximum or the biggest value in the set of data. Then, of course, we have a range, which we just worked through before, which is the difference between the upper extreme and the lower extreme. So take a deep breath. It's all going to be okay, and Miss Benson is going to show you a couple of problems. Let's go, Miss Benson.
Okay, so Miss Voss is right. It really is going to be okay, I promise. We're going to work through an example together today, and my honest advice to you is when your teacher is asking you to practice this, go back and whatever you're practicing, go through at the same time as this video. Like, put them side by side on your screen. Watch us do it and complete your work step by step. Because until you do probably a dozen of these, it's going to take some thinking. You're going to have to keep reminding yourself, okay, what do I do next? What do I do next? But you're going to see that basically we're finding the median 3 times and we're finding the biggest and smallest number. So if you can find 3 medians and you can put numbers in order, I promise you can do this. The toughest part is the vocabulary, and the more you practice, the better you will get. Okay? The actual math itself is not so bad. So let's just jump right in. This says, Cody the cat was weighed at 9 different vet appointments. His weights are listed below. Calculate each of the following, and then it has all of those words that Ms. Voss just went through. So keeping your vocabulary handy is super important while you are working on this. But let's break it down. We're just going to do one thing at a time, okay? So maybe I'll even put some words up here. Step 1, put your numbers in order, okay? Just like we did for median and mode and range, put your numbers in order. So I'm going to put 10 first, and I'm just going to go through and I'm going to start filling in all of my numbers. Okay, step 1 complete, and that's not anything new. We can do that all day, all right? Step 2, find your biggest and smallest numbers, and that's not hard either. My smallest number is 10. The only way that they make this confusing is they try to give it a new name. They call it the lower extreme, but that just means what's the smallest number up there? So the smallest number is 10. Look, we haven't done anything hard yet, and we've already got one part done. So there's my smallest number. What's my biggest number? My upper extreme, 21. Okay, not too bad yet. In fact, let's do the next thing on the list. This all falls into one step, right? Step 1, put things in order. Step 2, find the biggest and smallest numbers. And if we know what the biggest and smallest numbers are, then we can find the range. We just come over here, we do the biggest minus the smallest, or the upper extreme minus the lower extreme, and my range is 11. Okay, 2 steps done. Not so bad. All right. Step 3, find the median. Okay, we can do median. We've done that before. This is not new. Let's find the median. So let's start crossing some numbers out. Actually, here's what I'm going to do instead of crossing them out. I'm just going to put a little dot above them. Okay, so 10 and 21. And you'll see why later. 12 and 19. 12 and 19, 15 and 18, and then look, I found my median. My median is 17. Okay, 3 steps done. That wasn't hard at all. Okay, here comes our 4th step. We have to find the median 2 more times, but that's not hard either. We can totally do this. So I have to find the median 2 more times, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So if you look back at your vocabulary, it says that the lower quartile is the median of the lower half. So it's saying everything below the median, I gotta find the median of those numbers, which is weird. You're like, why are we doing this? But we'll show you why in a little bit. That's what you gotta do though. You gotta find the median of these numbers right here. So I cross off 10, cross off 15. I'm left with 2 numbers in the middle, 12 and 12. So I know I have to find the mean of those, but if I find the mean of 12 and 12, what do I get? I just get 12. Okay, so my lower quartile is 12. And then we do the same with the numbers that are above the median. So I do the same with these numbers right here. Get rid of 18, 21. And again, I'm left with 2 numbers in the middle, but they're the same number. So my median here is 19. And that's called my upper quartile. So even though that was weird, and I don't think we've really ever done anything like that before, it wasn't hard. So then we're going to find range again. But instead of finding the range between the smallest and biggest number, we're going to find the range between those 2 extra medians that we just found, between Q1 and Q3. But we're going to find it the same way. We're just going to come over here and do the bigger number, Q3, minus the smaller number, Q1. And this right here, this 7, is called my interquartile range. Okay, so all of that, right, seems like a lot, but it was put the numbers in order, find the biggest and smallest, find the median, and then find the median 2 more times. So it's a lot of steps to remember, but none of them are hard by themselves. Okay, and then I'm going to show you why we did that. So here's all of my numbers, and I'm going to pop them over to this page, already filled in. This magical, strange looking thing down here, this is my box and whisker plot. So we found all of these calculations in order to make this graph. And this is unlike any graph that you've ever seen before. It's not like a histogram or a bar graph. It's this crazy looking box with 2 whiskers sticking out of it. Okay, and the way that we make it is we basically mark off each of these values, and then we connect them to make this shape. So we're gonna mark the lower extreme, which was 10. We're gonna mark the upper extreme, which was 21. So look at this graph. Right here, there's a line at 10. And there's a line at 21. Okay, then we mark the median and we mark those other two medians that we found, the lower quartile and the upper quartile. And look here at this. There's my median, a line at 17. And then those other two medians that I found were 12 right there and 19 right there. And all of those medians create this box. And then our two extremes are what creates these whiskers. Okay, so this graph is already given to you if you have these notes, but if you don't, you need to pause and you need to sketch it out on a piece of paper because you will have to know how to set these up in future problems. We just did this one for you so you could have one nice, pretty example. Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna stick this part in, but I completely forgot to mention, so don't go anywhere. I completely forgot to mention that each one of these sections down here, I need a whole new color. Blue. This whisker, and then each part of this box. So see how I have one section, two section, three sections, four sections? Those are called quartiles. Okay, and here's something you need to know, and it will make more sense when we do our next video, I promise. But each one of these quartiles has 25% of the data points. Okay, and you're probably thinking, how does that work? Because they're totally different sizes. Yes, I know, but you just gotta trust me on this. But basically, when we found all the medians, we were splitting our data up into 4 sections, right? We found one median and split it into 2 parts. In fact, future Ms. Benson, you need to put these numbers on the video. Okay, so we took our set of data right here, and we found the first median, and that split our data into this half and this half, all right? And then when we found our next median chunk, we now have 2 sections down here. And then when we split this half by finding the median, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections of data, and each one of those is called a quartile. Okay, so we're gonna need to know that, especially for the next video, but I wanted to throw it in here just in case your teacher asks you about it later. Okay, so hang in there, come back, watch this video as many times as you need to, and then we'll be working with these for at least a couple more videos. Okay, bye-bye.